From living room hi-fi setups to small underground clubs to the biggest festival stages on Earth, how did a Japanese hi-fi company become synonymous with vinyl DJing? Technics didn't invent the DJ, and they didn't invent the turntable either. Yet for almost half a century they've defined what a DJ booth looks and feels like. This is the story of how one piece of industrial design quietly shaped modern music culture. It all began in Osaka, Japan. In 1965, Matsushita Electric, today better known as Panasonic, launched Technics as its premium hi-fi brand. The goal had nothing to do with clubs or dance music. Technics was created for home listening, producing amplifiers, speakers, and turntables for audiophiles, pursuing the most faithful sound reproduction possible. But beneath that pursuit of fidelity was another obsession: precision. Throughout the 1960s, most turntables relied on belt-driven motors. They sounded good, but the belt introduced slight speed variations and took time to reach full rotation. Technics engineers believed there was a better way. In 1969, they introduced one of the world's first commercially successful direct drive turntables, the SP10. Instead of spinning the platter with a rubber belt, the motor became part of the platter itself. The result was remarkable. The platter reached full speed almost instantly. Rotation remained exceptionally stable. There were fewer moving parts to wear out, and the entire mechanism proved incredibly reliable. A few years later came the machine that changed everything, the SL-1200. Ironically, it wasn't designed for DJs. It was marketed as a premium hi-fi turntable, but its heavy construction, high-torque motor and rugged build gave it qualities another community immediately recognized: DJs. As disco exploded during the 1970s, club DJs needed equipment that could survive long nights, constant transport and endless queuing of records. The SL-1200 delivered. Then came one seemingly small addition that made history. In 1979, Technics released the SL-1200 Mark II. For the first time, DJs had an accurate pitch slider that allowed them to speed up or slow down records with exceptional precision. Suddenly, two different records could be manually synchronized and blended seamlessly together. Beatmatching became faster, longer transitions became possible, and the language of DJing began to evolve.
Have a good day. The official adventures of the Great Master.
At almost exactly the same moment, another movement was emerging, thousands of kilometers away. In the Bronx, pioneers like Kool Herc, Grandmaster Flash, and Afrika Bambaataa discovered that the same direct drive motor, which kept records perfectly stable, also made something else possible: scratching, backcuing, juggling between identical records. Techniques that would have destroyed many belt-driven turntables became everyday performance tools on the SL-1200. Turntables stopped being playback devices. They became instruments.
Most DJs, they concentrated their efforts on the tone arm. It would be totally sloppy off beat, and I seen a lot of that. I knew there has to be a better way. And after trying many different things, I placed my fingers on the vinyl. I let it go, stopped it. Let it go, stop it. I said to myself, I have absolute control of the record. But the taboo thing was you're not supposed to touch the middle of the vinyl. DJs are gonna hate you. People are gonna hate you. You're gonna ruin these records. I decided that this was the only way to do this. And then what I did was, so that I could find the break quicker, I took a crayon and I would make a circular mark where the break lived. So the circular mark is where the break lived. And the other mark is the intro to the break. So what I would do is count how many times it passed the tone arm. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2,
3.
I figured out a way to do this with never touching the tone arm. Now we know where we are. We're not guessing anymore. We're not guessing anymore. Phase, phase, phase.
And by the 1980s and 90s, Technics had become the standard. From Chicago house to Detroit techno to UK jungle and turntablism championships, the same silver turntables appeared everywhere. Entire generations of DJs learned on the same machine. Every club owned them. Every festival installed them. Every touring artist expected to find them in the booth. Walking into a club anywhere in the world meant stepping behind equipment you already knew instinctively. Few pieces of technology have become so deeply embedded within a creative culture. Even as CDs, laptops and digital controllers transformed DJing in the 2000s, many artists continued requesting Technics, not out of nostalgia, but because the tactile connection between hand and record remained unmatched. Ironically, just as vinyl experienced a global revival, Technics temporarily disappeared. Production of the SL-1200 ended in 2010, leading many to believe its story was over. Instead, demand only grew stronger. Used models became highly sought after, while studios, collectors and DJs continued maintaining decades-old units that simply refused to die. Recognizing the renewed interest, Technics returned in 2016 with redesigned versions of the SL-1200, preserving its iconic design while updating its engineering for a new generation. More than 60 years after the Technics name first appeared, the company remains one of the clearest examples of technology finding a purpose its creators never imagined. A turntable designed for careful listening became the foundation of club culture. A precision engineering project became a musical instrument, and a Japanese hi-fi brand became one of the most influential names in the industry of electronic music, and remains so to this day.